The woman gave her husband to her best friend and left. A few years later she returned and discovered that Fernanda met Raphael in a cafeteria, where she worked part-time as a waitress in the free time of her. She had no one to help her, so she had to work there. She noticed Raphael a long time ago. He went there every morning and drank coffee with croissants, then left a generous tip for Fernanda and left. The girl had no idea that Raphael really liked. He was a very shy guy, so she was afraid to tell her feelings. But once there was a flood in the cafeteria, the kitchen tap exploded and Raphael helped Fernanda to close the water. Both soaked under water pressure and laughed what happened for a long time. Thus they met. Since then, Raphael began inviting Fernanda to get out of her. They gave long walks around the park. They went to the cinema to see the last function. The girl felt that Raphael was adequate for her, the type of husband with whom she had dreamed of her life, and finally happened. Raphael proposed to Fernanda. The girl's happiness had no limits. "Juana, congratulate me. I am going to marry. And you, as my best friend, will be my bridesmaid." "Well, Fernanda, congratulations. Raphael is a great guy. It is a pity that she has not been the first to see him, and I am not lucky to know normal men. Don't worry, my friend. We will find a good husband. I promise you." "Are you sure, Fernanda? Look, I'll remember. If you do not find me a husband, I will steal your Raphael." And Juana laughed, followed by Fernanda. The wedding was fine. A sumptuous banquet, many guests. Raphael's father gave the young couple an apartment. So now they had a place to organize their modest nest. Raphael really wanted Fernanda to give birth to her son quickly. He expected the news of pregnancy every day. "Raphael, well, you are not in a hurry," Fernanda laughed. "All in time. And you are so fast." "Fernanda, I have a plan. First a son, then a daughter, and then I will know that life was good. Everything will happen, take your time." But as time passed, nothing happened. 1 year, 2, 3. Fernanda and Raphael went to the doctors. Her husband was fine, but the doctor told Fernanda the disappointing news that she would never have children. It was a congenital disorder, and she didn't know. How awful. What do I say to my husband now? She wouldn't support him. Fernanda shared the problem with her friend Juana. She replied that happiness is not in children, but in love, and if Raphael loves, then he will live with Fernanda without children, but he would not be able. Fernanda understood very well. Some more months passed. Fernanda locked himself. Raphael did not understand what was happening. She was afraid to tell her the truth, saying that the doctor said that Fernanda is just a small hormonal failure, it is necessary to drink vitamins and walk more outdoors. And in fact, Fernanda was preparing a decisive action plan. She loved her too much to deprive her of her children forever. One night, she met with Juana and offered her a deal. "Juana, listen to me well. I have made a decision and I will not change my mind, do not even convenient me. In a few days I will leave the city forever, I will not leave my contacts, you don't have to look for me. I will write a note to Raphael, he will understand everything." "Fernanda, you are scaring me. What's happening? You are crazy." Juana looked at her friend with amazement. "No, I'm not crazy. Now I have the mind clearer than ever. Raphael can't leave me, I'm sure it. He will only pity me, and he deserves happiness and a lot of children, and I can't give it to him, and you do. You are beautiful, Juana, and I'm sure you will be a very good mother. You just have to be there for him when I leave. You will make a great couple, I think." "Fernanda, you are crazy. Deliver your husband like that, without more." "No, well, I understand that I have no luck with the suitors, but take Raphael. I don't want to give it to anyone but you. Because I know you are the best person for this role, because I love both of you and I don't have anyone else dear in this world than you. Don't cry, Juana, and don't feel sorry for me. You will marry Raphael and give him healthy children. They were hugging all night. They talked, spoke, cried, discussed and cried again. But the decision was taken, and a week later Fernanda left secret. Just one morning, when Raphael went to work, he called a taxi carrying his belongings and left definitely, leaving a note on the table and Juana's phone number for an explanation. Fernanda rode on the train and realized that she was losing the most precious thing in her life. She and her husband an intimate friend of her, but she couldn't do anything else. Raphael, that same afternoon, met with Juana to know what was happening. He was so angry with Fernanda that she didn't tell her anything. Juana comforted Raphael everything she could and, at first, she even approached to cook and clean for him. But Raphael got more angry and got drunk with boredom. And that he had never drunk, but then something like that happened. Time passed. Fernanda did not say anything, not a word. And Juana was always there. Raphael took care of himself and adapted to a new life and a new reality. And one day he got up in the morning and decided not to drink again. And 6 months later he married Juana. During this time he got used to her. She became a person close to him, and that was especially important at a difficult time. And then the day came when Juana gave birth to her son. Of course, Raphael expected a son, but a daughter wasn't bad either, and he next time would ask Juana for a son. Raphael was delighted. Hey, if he had known that Fernanda had sacrificed for these happy moments for Raphael. That morning, several years ago, Fernanda went up to a train and left for a distant city to visit her paternal grandmother. They rarely looked in life, but now Fernanda needed her more than anyone's grandmother. The girl had no parents, and her grandmother was both a salvation and a comfort. After telling everything and venting her soul, Fernanda asked her to live in her grandmother's house. She accepted. You, granddaughter, don't worry. You have done the right thing. It is not necessary to torture the child. Since your destiny is not having children, you have to find a husband with a child or better too. Then you will have a complete family. The time will come, Fernanda, and you will know, believe me. I have lived many years in this world and I have seen many things. You will remain happy. Fernanda listened to her grandmother, but her thoughts were there, with Raphael. What bitter and painful was her soul, and those damn doubts arose, and if she had done the right thing. And perhaps it was a meanness with her ex-husband. Well no, enough to complain, she had to adapt to a new life. Good. The first thing we have to do is find out her work. The grandmother said they have a local orphanage in the area. Fernanda will work with the children of this orphanage. As there are no own, she will give heat and affection to others. So she did it, she got a job there, and she liked everything. And the staff, and the environment. And most importantly, the friendly hearts of children. And so, little by little, her soul defrosted from sadness and pain. Time cured that pain. Several years passed. Fernanda returned to her city. He took the old grandmother of her with her. It was better to be together, and it was already difficult for grandmother to live alone. Fernanda did not tell anyone to know her arrival. She erased her life from her. She got a job like the one she had in the orphanage. One day she entered a 7-year-old girl. Fernanda took love instantly. Hi little girl. What's your name? Emma, the girl replied quietly. And you? And I Aunt Fernanda. But you can call me Fernanda. Fernanda, my dad is going to take me the weekend. He said I will only be here on weekdays, while he works. My dad is not right. My mother left us to go abroad with another uncle. So my dad is sad, but he is fine, only now he is having a very bad time. He promised me that when he improves, he will take me back. Fernanda spoke with the girl and went to find her manager's story with her manager. It turns out that it is true, her mother went to Europe with a new suitor, leaving her daughter and her husband's daughter. And in the end, Emma's father got drunk, and the childhood protection authorities decided to temporarily separate the family from the family until her father was controlled. And if he did not, they planned to deprive him of parental rights. But he promised to reform. He was an intelligent and polite man, but apparently weak character. When Fernanda saw Emma's file, she almost lost his speech. His surname was Zorian and his name was Raphael. Such coincidences cannot be. Emma was Raphael's daughter, and the mother who abandoned them was, apparently, Juana. Fernanda couldn't find her place. How could Juana do this to her own daughter, for the sake of an uncle? Could it be really true? Emma, don't worry. I think I know your father. And I will help you. He will pick you up, sure. When did he promise to come? Saturday. Fernanda, but don't scold him. He is a good man, you have to be kind to him. Don't worry, Emma, Fernanda smiled and hugged the girl. She arrived on Saturday. Fernanda came to the shelter, although it was her day off. She was in the room with Emma when Raphael entered. When she saw Fernanda, she couldn't believe what they saw her eyes. Fernanda, you can't be you. All these years. What are you doing here? Raphael, I want to ask you first, what does Emma do here? Not she is ashamed. Were you like this a few years ago? How can you abandon your own daughter? Fernanda, sorry. Emma, I'm so sorry. You see, she is gone. I know she left, Emma told me. And that? Do you have to drink for that? And Emma? Don't you feel sorry for her? Time will pass and regret it. But it can be too late. Don't be silly, Raphael, Emma loves you. She thinks before losing your daughter. I will definitely take it, I promise you, Fernanda. And Raphael fulfilled his word. He stopped drinking, this time forever. 2 weeks later he took Emma and Fernanda often went to visit them to see the girl. And so, little by little, his feelings emerged again. Fernanda was happy with Raphael and Emma. She had missed her family. She now understood. And Emma became her family. By the way, Juana called several times and was very surprised that Fernanda had returned and she now lived with Raphael and Emma. But at the same time, Juana was happy that Emma now had Fernanda. Juana did not want to give explanations to Fernanda. She fell in love and left, and her daughter was her obstacle. But Emma was like a family for Fernanda. She had waited for this happiness so long, and now she gave her love to Emma and Raphael. Fernanda was finally happy, and that's the most important.